keep this on me for now, right now.
Uh-oh.
I was the one telling the people out here, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, if they lost the first 2 football games of the season, would still be in the hunt to make a college football playoff. I talked to Joe Lisi quite a bit during the week, and you know what Joe Lisi's been telling me? Notre Dame just might be the best football team in the country right now, and I believe him. I do. Rolling over teams. The offense is out there right now, and I don't think anybody can stop them.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Is it going to be Gabriel over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Or is it going to be...
I know.
Is it going to, but that's where they're at right now. Because that mentality, changes. We go from rebuild at 1-3 to all of a sudden at 2-3, the bell goes off, and he, in his head, probably drinking a beer at night, goes, hey, I can get this team to the playoffs.
You listen,
but that's the way these coaches think.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
So let's just start right there. Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, done for 2025. Think of the managers that invested the draft capital. Man, oh man, what to do?
Yeah, this is really tough. I had people message me, man, I had Neighbors and Hill, and I lost them both in the same week. That's tough. It's a tough day at the office for sure, and that's why you watch us here on FST, Fantasy Sports Today. We're trying to help you.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on a terrific Tuesday evening. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, wagering on the world of sports. It's a beautiful day. What a night tonight it is. Little smorgasbord, a little bit of everything, including elections. It's election day. We got a lot of mayoral races all around the country. Chaos in New York and New Jersey, Virginia, California. We'll update that stuff before we are through for sure. We got a little MAC action, a little college football. We got a full slate of college basketball, decent slate of NBA, some hockey tonight as well. So really a pretty good night for a Tuesday. That is for sure, to be able to put some money on some things and hopefully make a couple of shekels before we are through, including hopefully you did last night. How about those Los Angeles Lakers? You want to make fun of my conspiracy theories now? I'm telling you, it's the best conspiracy ever. Play on NBA teams when their star players don't play. The Lakers without LeBron, without Luka, and without Austin Reeves even win as 10-point underdogs outright. It's a beautiful thing. So, but before we get to it all, game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, we're ready to rock tonight, ready to lay it down on some NBA basketball, college basketball. The college football world right now awaits the college football playoff rankings, and there'll be a lot of rage, there'll be a lot of anger, there'll be a lot of debate after the first rankings. But I have to remind people, like, we are literally 6 weeks away from playing playoff football still. There's a lot of rankings still to come, and the first rankings are always completely meaningless as opposed to the last rankings, right? So, let's save the rage and let's save the anger. We could have some fun with the college football playoff rankings, and I'm sure there'll be some surprises. But as far as anger and rage, we'll save it because there's a lot of college football left to be played.
Yep. The one thing they have said over the years, Gabe, is that the rankings, like if you're ranked 5th, we'll say, and you win, that doesn't mean you can't be ranked 7th if someone ranked 7th wins against a top or team. They've shown, you're right, 100%, that these rankings early on are just guidelines. They're not set in stone. You win, you stay where you are. So, opening pickoff. Speaking of the NBA, how about it? I'll go start with an NBA play, and who would have thunk it? Listen, we're a week and a half in, but still, who would have thought at this point the Chicago Bulls at home against the Philadelphia 76ers on November 4th, the winner would have the best record in the Eastern Conference. But that's what we have tonight. Bulls and 76ers, both 5-1. Bulls are 4-0 at home. Give me the home team laying only 1.5 basically pick them against the 76ers, Gabe.
Yeah, they are both 5-1 straight up and against the spread on the season. I'm a little bit more surprised that the Chicago Bulls are than the Philadelphia 76ers are, just from a talent perspective. But Philadelphia are dangerous. And I always thought that the Sixers, I caught on to this years ago. I've seen a lot of Sixers basketball over the years. I've seen their process fail. And the fact of the matter is, like, Maxi's been their best player for a couple of years. They just didn't know it, right? You know, they were hanging on to Joel Embiid so much. They think, oh, Paul George. The fact now, why they're winning basketball games, they're letting Maxi take over, point blank. And Maxi's averaging over 33 points a game. I don't think Chicago are going to be able to stop Philadelphia offensively tonight. Nice start for the Bulls, but they're still terrible defensively. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers plus 1.5 points.
Ooh, how about that? All right, going head-to-head. Here's one of these that it just looks too good to be true. But, you know, I'll go back to last night when we had Jacoby Brissett and his passing. We both love the passing numbers, right? And then what happened to boys in Vegas lowered the number. And you end up questioning, what am I missing, right? And then they ends up going over by 30 yards. So, you know, that's why you can't, like, go against some bad lines. I say that because next pick, Gabe, over Jalen Johnson, 19.5 points. He's an Atlanta Hawk. No Trae Young. He's out for about a month. He's their main scorer. And this line lowered from 20.5 down to 19.5. Here are his lines for this year: 23, 22, 23, 25, 22, and 12. And that was against Orlando, who they're playing tonight. But I got 5 yeses to 1 no. I'll take my chance. He gets 20 points. Give me over 19.5 points, Jalen Johnson, Atlanta Hawks.
I'm going to play a player prop here as well. And I was just talking about Maxi of the Philadelphia 76ers in similar situation. Listen, it's a little bit scary. It's a lot of points, 27.5 points, right? It was 26.5 earlier in the day, and people are onto it. But the fact of the matter is he's averaging 33.7 points per game. And it's all about shot volume, right? When you bet props. And the fact is he's taking shots. He hasn't taken less than 16 shots in a basketball game. They are running the offense through him right now, and he's just shooting the basketball. We just saw what Brunson did. The Bulls can't guard anybody. Brunson went off for 31, 29 and 31 against them in the last 2 games back-to-back. I expect Maxi to get into the 30s. And, oh, yeah, by the way, happy birthday to Tyrese Maxey. It's his birthday today as well. So there's no reason why he doesn't really go off and probably score like 40-plus tonight.
I love that angle, Gabe. I missed that. Very nice. Yes, always play on the star birthday.
25th birthday.
Games. Yeah, 25, that's it, huh? We've been hearing about Tyrese Maxey for 10 years. It seems like he's only 25. Amazing. All right, I'll dip into hockey tonight. It's kind of a good team and value, and I hate that phrase value, but ultimately I do think they win, and that's Tampa Bay. Get plus 125 at Colorado. Listen, you can lose a lot by keep on betting against Colorado at home especially, right? But I will tell you, Tampa Bay's won 5 in a row, so they're playing their best hockey in the season. Little slow start to the year, but they're 5-0. Colorado's only 2-5 their last 7, and Tampa Bay is 5-1 their last 6 games against Colorado. So it's on the road, I get that, but I got some pretty good Tampa Bay numbers, and I'm getting plus 125. I'll jump on the Lightning tonight.
I don't dislike that pick. I'm going to go with college basketball here. Texas and Duke. Got to love these early season, blue blood matchups. And oftentimes the underdog covers. We saw last night Villanova covered. We saw last night Arizona was the dog against Florida and beat them outright. Now you're getting 10.5 points with the Texas Longhorns. Texas kind of have, they got a new coach. They're rebuilding a little bit, but they got their guards back. We know that Miller likes to push the pace. I'm expecting points in this basketball game with Duke and Texas. 153.5 is manageable. I think we'll get into the high 150s here. And Listen, man, last night the kid on BYU, his prop was 18.5, and it's like, wow, and he ends up with 21. They're not playing around with Boozer tonight. They made it 20.5 points for Boozer tonight. I love Boozer, guys, over 10.5 rebounds. The dude had 23 rebounds against the Tennessee Volunteers in their exhibition game last week. 24 points and 23 rebounds. So, there's not a lot of value at the 20.5 points. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, is he really going to go up? He had 23 rebounds against a very physical Volunteer team. It's 10.5 tonight, so a little bonus pick there. Cameron Boozer over 10.5 rebounds.
I don't know how many minutes the kid played, Gabe. I'm guessing about 30 to 35. He was averaging almost a rebound a minute. I mean, 23 rebounds for a college basketball
and 24 points.
Game. And 24 points, no less. Yikes. All right, my last one, a little poly-market special here since we got election night, so I figure I'd throw this out there. How about a little Zohan Mamdani to win the New York City mayoral election? Everything is for free. Starting tomorrow, or whenever he actually takes office, everything is for free. Bus rides, rent, supermarket. He's giving the whole.
So you should like it. Because if you lose a bet, maybe he'll get you refunded because, he'll say the sportsbook will refund you. He's going to pick your garbage up and you'll get refunded. Yeah, I'm saying you should like him. I want my money back.
Just, hey, Zoe, give me my money back. I had the Knicks last night +7 and they gave up an, oh, by the way,
hey, I don't know. I'm not going to get political here, but I'm like, I don't know what everybody hates the guy for. He says he's going to give you everything.
Yeah, so give me Mamdani to win the New York City mayoral election.
Well, he's like a 90% favorite on the trading markets now, -900 in the betting world. We got a quick hockey play on the way out here. It's a later game, but give me the Ducks. I think they're a live dog against the Panthers tonight.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that. All right, in-game live, game day. We'll check out some of the election stuff when we come back right here on the grid.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. Mm-hmm. They're not. It's what, like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state, you're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number one, we are fast away. We got some college football, we got college basketball, hockey, NBA, and this is the election day. You got a lot of mayoral races, governor races around the country. You don't hear too much about it because it's not, the presidential race, but it's a big night all around the country. I live in the New York, New Jersey area. Why's that?
In the past, sports books globally have been doing wagering on elections for years. Like I've been laying it down on elections for years, right? Like you can bet on the lotteries in a lot of countries. Like basically it's that mainstream.
Yeah.
But the U.S. has a law against betting on elections. Yet these trading markets have basically found a way. I guess this was the best way of putting it. Or just doing it, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So it's this new market that's exploding, right? It's an exploding market, the trading market, right? Where, you can basically trade on anything. Yeah, I think, and this goes back to like England, Scott, which I've always been fascinated by, which I love. And you would like this stuff. So like you can walk into a gambling parlor in England and tell them, listen, I think it's going to be lightning on Saturday in between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. What kind of odds you give me on that? Like, you know what I mean? They're like, all right, they'll come back. Yeah, we'll give you 7-1. We'll give you 7. Like, you can bet, like, yeah, listen, like, I've bet this before. It's like the purest degen stuff, Scott. Will it snow in Norway on Christmas Day? It's like minus 150. It's like, yeah, you're checking the weather reports. Will it snow on Christmas Day? And the best ones in England, of course, are and this is a big one, a lot of fathers, when they have their baby, their son, they'll bring the birth certificate to the sports book, Scott, and they'll bet. And they'll say, my son will play for the English national team. What kind of odds are you going to give me on this? Yeah, really? and or they'll even double up, and they'll say, listen, my son will play for the English national team, and he will score a goal in the World Cup. What kind of odds are you going to give me on that? And they cash. Look it up. There's all kinds of stories. The fathers cashing and stuff. You imagine the pressure of the kid growing up, like some loser, drunk dad, deadbeat dad. I got like $2 million on you if you ever score a goal in the World Cup. But so we're into this new trading market now. Is fascinating as you see it. On the trading market, Scott, like you can trade on basically everything right now. Like basically everything.
Yeah. And I don't know how they do it. Listen, I think, this started with the loophole of fantasy sports, which somehow or another wasn't technically gambling. Remember when gambling wasn't legal?
Yeah, they're not betting, they're trading.
Games, right? You're not betting, you're trading. But in my world game...
Yeah, but now they're trading on NFL games, Scott.
Everything.
Now they're trading on
football,
NFL games.
Every single game tonight, you can go to polymarket.com and hit it, right? So, but in my world... Now, I put money up, yes. If my team doesn't win, I lose money, yes. In my world, that's gambling. But somehow or another, in this world, it's not. So it's great for states that don't have legalized gambling. Texas and California and Florida, some of the major states don't have legalized gambling, believe it or not.
It's extreme prop betting,
you can do
in
it
a way. It's extreme prop trading, betting, etc., right? Like different things, the WrestleManias of the world and, the stuff that a lot of times – sports books don't do, right? There's a market for a lot of stuff. There's, listen, political junkies, pop culture. How will movies do, Scott? Like with their debut, how many records will Taylor Swift sell in the first week? There's an interest for everything in today's day and age, and especially politics. Except tonight, a lot of this stuff is kind of one-sided. We've got a lot of routes. Like there's what's the debate in New York right now, Scott? I mean, whether he wins 85 or 90% of the vote.
Yeah.
Right?
Right now on the polymarket.com, it's 90. Now it went up another point. It was 95 a second ago. Now it's 96%.
Wow.
So you got to equate that to odds. So it's like you want to take Cuomo at 4%, Andrew Cuomo. All the polls did have Mandani, as the favorite, but not by this much. That's for sure. But again, this is not polls. This is people betting, or people, wagering or whatever they want to call it these days.
Trading.
Trading. That's it. Trading. Yeah, that's the key phrase there. So that's all but done. Right? I mean, unless you want to take a flyer for some goofy reason that the polls and everything else are wrong. One thing about the mayoral race is it's not like the presidential race. We have all these towns and whatever bringing their. No, they don't really know until the very, very end. So who knows? Maybe Cuomo does pull it off. kind of doubt it, but maybe.
No, I would trade no on that. I would trade no. I would trade no on that one personally. But I was going to say, in some of these other elections, you could almost, Scott, like you think, all right, I'm going to trade, and I'll think outside the box because there's always these crazy legal consequences after. And we've seen it before. You and I are old enough that we've seen this before, right? Challenges, lawsuits, like takes 3 weeks to a month to find out who won some of these federal elections nowadays, right? This civil stuff, whatever, should be wrapped up by tonight. And the party, I don't know, where's the party? In Queens tonight? Brooklyn? Where's his headquarters? So I imagine the party is set to begin.
New York City,
Jersey, though, pretty competitive, though, Scott, huh? I got an interesting fact about Jersey, actually. Jersey, no one party has won three governor elections in a row, Scott, since 1961 in New Jersey.
Wow.
So it's been 2 terms blue. We can go three terms blue here again. It'd be the first time since 1961 that either party had won 3 consecutive times.
Wow. How about that? As a Jersey guy, yeah, it was, New York's a Democratic state, right? And city. But New Jersey's been, Republican. They've had their Tom Keens of the
More
world.
More of a battleground. It's reflective of the country, I think, Jersey, right? It's sort of, you got everybody.
Yeah. So I think they're declaring Mikey Sherrill the winner. She's got 100% on Poly Market. So I don't even know if you can bet that anymore. The gates closed at 8 o'clock in New Jersey. They close at 9 o'clock in New York. So maybe they're declaring her the winner already. Same thing in Connecticut. It closed at 8 o'clock. Virginia closed at 7 o'clock, which I don't think is very fair.
There was the slam dunk trading parlay of the night right there.
Yeah,
Jersey,
and Donnie and
Cheryl and Mondami parlay.
Yeah. Wow. You talk about the wars New Jersey and New York are going to have. This is like the Sopranos with those two. They're both a little off the beaten path, we'll just say. So, all right, back to the sports board when we come back and get live game day here on the grid.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe checking out everything, including the elections. We'll head back into that in a little bit just to keep an eye on it and see if we got any official results, including Virginia and California.
Hey, this Raptor game, Scott.
Yeah, what do we got here? Milwaukee
right
Bucks.
Yeah, it's and I don't really understand the total here because I got burnt first time they played this year. They played like in the second game of the year, and the total was like 237.5. Didn't quite get there. It sort of landed right at no, it did. It got to like 238. So excuse me. They made it 240 tonight. And I was like, man, it's pretty high again. Like these teams going at it, but I don't really fully understand the in-game number here, Scott, when we consider it's 50-40 right now for the Raptors. There's 6 minutes left in the second quarter, so we're already at 90 right now. Dude, it was 39-29 after the first quarter, and we only got a 240.5 right now. I mean, the Raptors are on pace to score 70-plus in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, you're basically looking at maybe 110, 105, maybe even second half, because if they got 90 now, would still well over 6 minutes. 640, I'm showing.
Yeah,
so
nearly
you got
7 minutes.
They're going to put another... Yeah, they're going to put another 40 points on the board, so that's going to put you at 130, and they're giving you 238. So, like I said, you figure it all out.
You're pretty much getting the original number of a game, Scott, that has a pretty nice pace to it. Like, that's what I'm surprised. They're almost saying, listen, you're late to the party, but we'll still let you in the party for free right now, considering there's 92 points in the game, and we're giving you pretty much the same number it was before the game started.
Yeah. It's hard, Gabe, for these books. I've noticed that. It took me a little while to figure out what they were doing. But that's basically what they do. They go back to the original number, no matter what it is. Low-scoring first half, high-scoring first half.
Yeah, you're right. They don't like to move from it.
Right. And they just give, if we're giving you a 240, we'll just say, then it's 120 first half, 120 second half. And if you score 50 points in the first half, I don't care. I'm going to make the second half 120 like it was at the start of the game. And that's kind of what they're doing here, I guess, with this one. So,
we're off and running in Chicago, too. Dude, look at the in-game total here. 251.5 early right now.
Wow.
So I got a 31-20, and there's 4:20 left in the first quarter. We're already at 51 points.
Wow. I'm seeing 252.5 on FanDuel. Oh, my God. I stopped betting
Philadelphia
the
were 5-1 to the over, Scott, this year. What? We talked about a 5-1 ATS, but they were 5-1 to the over. The Bulls are, 4-2 to the over on the season? Bulls aren't known for playing defense either. Let's be real. But, wow. 51 points already, in the first 7 minutes of this game.
And Embiid's over-under was only 19.5 tonight, Gabe. Is he going to ever be, the back to the old Joel Embiid? Or is he just completely shot?
No, I think it's almost better for them, though, that they don't rely on him. If he gives them, gives them some defense, gives them 15, 17 a night, and actually stays healthy, I'd rather that than him going 29 every, 3 weeks and disappearing again. If you can get some consistency from him. The other kid, too, Edgecombe, Scott, tonight was, 12 already. What's Edgecombe at? Because he was 15.5 tonight. What's he at? 3 now. He was 15.5. I thought that was a little light for him tonight too.
Yeah, especially if you got two. Especially if you're going to be in a matchup with the Bulls, who are going to be up and down the court. You figured he would get his points, so get yourself an extra free little point there. Let me see how my boy for the Atlanta Hawks is doing. Where's Johnson? 18-12 Atlanta leading. Yeah, I had that. It was a little suspicious with his number being so low. He's got where is he? He's got 5. All right, 21.5. That's a pretty good start. I'll take it. Nothing crazy, but it's a little bit higher than what it was.
Did you see the first play of the game tonight? So this game was so bad, I didn't even bet it. I couldn't lay 10.5 with Akron. So I was like, man.
Yes, UMass.
I was like, I think Akron would win. You see, UMass started off the game with a flea flicker. Love their style. It's like, listen, we're 0-8. We always talk about this, right? It's like, what are you guys punting for? So I love their style. We're 0-8. We're 10.5-point road dogs on the road here. Let's open up the game with a trick play flea flicker. They get lit up. Quarterback fumbles the ball. It was like, whoa, what a way to start the game for it. But I was like, well, you know what? I give you credit for saying, let's try something fancy on the first play of the game. It blew up, but I did play. Listen, they're playing for bowl eligibility right now, Scott. The winner tonight between Miami, Ohio, and Ohio will have 6 wins already. So and they don't like each other. So we actually have a decent MAC game going on. It's low scoring, but I am on the Bobcats. I'm on the home team tonight on the money line against Miami, Ohio.
All right. I put another 3-team teaser in. I took Ohio 2 straight, and I took Akron. It pained me to do it, but I figured Akron had a better chance of winning than even UMass.
Oh, Akron. I thought we were going to win,
Yeah.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic. I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, you know, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one. Little college football. It's 27-10, by the way. Akron over UMass in the first half still, late second quarter. And then we got Ohio and Miami of Ohio. Just went to halftime, tied at 3. My third leg of my 10-team 10-point tease is the over. Yeah, it's whatever happened to the old 55-50 MAC, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday game.
You sort of figured this one would be a battle. I just want to quickly say before we bring Zeno in is we got the Texas-Duke game going off the board, guys, in about 15 minutes. Okay. So reminder about that one. I like the over. Let's go with, man, I nearly said Carlos Boozer a couple of times today. Cameron Boozer. Yeah. We'll go with Cameron Boozer over 10.5 rebounds. But, I got burnt. We did really well last night at college basketball. In fact, I think we went 5-0. But
Villanova
ended up covering. The San Jose State covered. The other one, they all whatever. We did really well last night. We bet against Seattle. Remember, they covered, etc. But I'm about to suffer my first loss. I bet the over of the Kentucky game against Nicholls State, man, and neither team. How about this? The total was 158.5 at closing. In game right now, it's 120.5. Wow. So I'm only wrong by 37.5 points, guys. My bad. I accept the loss. I'm only off by 37, Mark.
Yeah. And the words, Mark, of Warner
So in the sports books, though, Mark, right? It wasn't my fault.
And you lose.
So right?
Hey, I got it this morning at 153.5. So, line value that went to what. So it was not a both teams I think went 3 for 30 combined in the first half to be on the over.
It was bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, you knew Nicholls State wasn't going to score a lot. You figured Kentucky was going to have to put 100
Well, they
on the
shoot a
board
lot,
close
Scott.
to it.
Nicholls
Yeah,
State
and
bombed threes. So it's like, all right, all I got to do is make a few, you know?
Right.
The math was simple that Nicholls State had to get to 60 because Kentucky was going to get to 90. That was really kind of my calculation on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought Kentucky could get to 100. Exactly, Mark. That was my theory. I was like, whatever, dude. They'll get to 100, and this we'll get into the 160s. But I had to bring that up. So I'm glad that you were on it too. Not that I'm glad you're losing, but I wasn't alone on reading that game.
Yeah. How about go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say,
the Dookie game.
Second half, that would have been great to take Kentucky and their team total over because they'll probably put up 45 or 50 in the second half when they normalize.
Right. How about Duke? I like the over too. I saw it at 152.5 earlier today. It's up to 153.5. Some circles maybe even 154. FanDuel's got it at 153.5. Duke laying 10.5. I don't know too much about the Texas program as much as I do about. I know Duke is always good, and so is Texas. That's why I was going to say I'll take Texas plus double digits, and I do like the over in the game. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, this line ballooned up, right? I mean, money has come in on Duke all day. This morning when I saw 8.5, I was interested in Duke. I stayed off the game altogether. But when I saw, the 8.5, I'm like, that's a number I could get involved in with Duke, given how good their shooting is. You're talking about a guy named Isaiah Evans, who hit nearly 42% of his threes last year. Duke led the nation in points per possession last year. I don't think that is going to be any different, or at least, they'll be in the top 10, top 15 in that category. And I think Duke, having the benefit of the game being in North Carolina was a huge lift for them. So
but not a home game, though, Mark. Not a home game.
Charlotte.
It's Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah, but different gyms, different nets. Different, you're in a hotel, and so it is, kind of like a road. Not it looks like not a traditional home game. Let's put it that way.
Probably a decidedly Duke crowd, much similar to when Duke gets a 1 seed in the Eastern, bracket of the NCAA tournament. It's a decidedly heavy Duke crowd.
Yeah, in Greensboro. So. It's a Duke crowd.
yeah.
Duke crowd. I knew the game wasn't at Cameron, but the point simply is that I think Duke could probably cover this number. When we get to past 10, I'm starting to get disinterested altogether.
Yeah. Any other ones that, the big boys played last night for the most part. You got a couple on there tonight, but any other college basketball ones you like tonight?
Nothing. I mean, listen, nothing other really interested me other than the Kentucky Nicholls because I figured they would come out, fast and furious. North Carolina A&T hung around with South Carolina for a half, but you're starting to get some of these, just wildly lopsided matchups that are tough to get involved in at this point in time. So, is there a world where I could lay 12.5 with Oregon tonight as Hawaii comes to the mainland? Maybe.
Thinking about that one.
So that game?
I was thinking about that game as well. Hawaii are going to be better this year. They're not, they've gotten better on the road too, right? Let's be real, because their road games are basically in the state of California. So, they've gotten better at it. But I know the Ducks are without one of their best players tonight, but it's still, I kind of got the feeling too, because I'm more of a dog better, Mark, and I was looking at that and I was like, yeah, you're walking into a trap if you take Hawaii here. They're going to lose by 14 or 16 or something.
Hawaii's defense is going to be bad. And if anything, if you want to cut the number in half and take a smaller first half number, if you can get it to a spot where you're talking about maybe a spot where you're getting under 2 possessions here, if you can find a 6 in the first half, maybe if they're offering you that, maybe Oregon in the first half because they usually start pretty fast, particularly at home where they're a much better shooting team.
I wanted to talk myself into Long Beach at 25 and a half. Yeah, Scott. Listen, we know, the total's 135 and a half. We know the way San Diego State plays. Now, they are better offensively than they have been in the past, but they're still who they are, right? They're very athletic. They're bad shooters. We know who they are.
Yeah.
Total 135 and a half, and you got to win by 26. The problem is, Scott, this isn't a classic Long Beach team. Casper Ware ain't walking through the tunnel right now, right? So, they got a bunch of transfers, and they're kind of throwing this team together this year. But, man, San Diego State having to win by 26 in the first game of the year, that's a pretty tall order right there. And Long Beach, they're not a D3 school, Scott. You know, they're not
Yeah,
a D3. It is Long Beach. They're going to they're going to put a team on the court.
I would say take the first half under with San Diego. You're going to get their best defensive effort early in the game. They may let their foot off the gas pedal if the lead is big enough by halftime and, you know, not be as focused on the defensive end. But I would think that would be the case where, I mean, it's sort of correlated to your Long Beach State thing. And look, if they can score early and keep it tight, guess what? They got a shot for a full 40 minutes. But typically, San Diego State takes your soul out in the first 20 minutes of a game and lets you know that you're not going to score for the rest of the game, and they can build up a big enough lead. But this could be something in the neighborhood of a 39-23 first half, and you're out of there.
Right. I was thinking of it like this: if you take Long Beach State, and I like to do this, guys, and you bet the over, as long as Long Beach State scores 55 points, in order for them to not cover, or San Diego State to cover, the game would have to go over. So 55 is the magic number for Long Beach State. Can LB State get 55 points?
And this,
a lot of teams don't, but I'll take that chance. I'll bet them in the over.
Well, or just if you want to go the other way, bet the Long Beach State under, team total under, and
if you think that,
hope that it goes that way. Because again, San Diego State doesn't necessarily play up tempo. I mean, they tend to slow things down for the most part. And if that's going to be the case, then the limited scoring opportunities that Long Beach State will have, San Diego State is good enough to thwart them. And so you get a much lower scoring contest than expected. But if I was to look at the over here, Scott, to me, my math would be on the San Diego State side and how much are they going to score here? Can they get to 75? Can they get close to 80 in this game? And then you have to hope Long Beach State, gets to 60 in the high 50s in that range, and that's where this thing goes.
Yeah. I look at it as two free bets. Give me Long Beach State in the over, root for 55, and then take whatever happens after that. You risk the vig. But they're a bad team. At least they were last year, 7 wins. So I can see them being held to like 50 points and lose 80-50, right? And not get either one. But I'll take my chance. Mark, good job as always, man. Appreciate it. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what, like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state, you're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. They just released the college football playoff rankings, which is always a lot of fun. And even though we all, I think, agree that it doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if you're ranked 3 now, and if you win, that doesn't mean you can't fall to 4 or 5 or 6, depending on what the teams behind you do. But that all said and done, Gabe, it's a lot of fun to talk about. Ohio State, it basically, as you said in the break, it kind of mirrors the AP. There's no real major surprises here, right? Yeah.
Really, like, there's no real debate or anything. Look, the AP top 25, Ohio State won. College football playoff rankings, Ohio State. AP has Indiana 2, college football playoff rankings 2. AP has A&M 3, rankings have A&M 3. Bama 4, Bama 4. Georgia 5, Georgia 5. We got a little bit of a discrepancy here. Ole Miss is ranked 6 in the college football playoff. They're ranked and Oregon is ranked 6 in the poll, and Oregon is ranked 9th. So it goes to show that if there's one little takeaway here, is that, all right, they're giving the edge to the SEC a little bit over the Big Ten, right? Oregon 7-1, Ole Miss is 8-1, both same losses. But there's really nothing really like. And look, BYU and Texas Tech play each other, Scott. Like, all these teams play each other. There's a lot of stuff can happen here, bro. So to me, it's kind of anticlimactic right now. Notre Dame's going to be in the playoff.
Yeah, and if that's the case, right? And I agree with you. So you have 5. You got 12 teams total, right? You got 5 automatic bids, 5 conference champions, and then if you want to throw Notre Dame in there, which I'm okay with. Now you got 6. That leaves 6 at-large bids left.
And they'll make Notre Dame go on the road, but they're in. Like, they're not going to be hosting a game. But they'll be in. Yeah.
So the Big Ten's going to get 2, right? Let's just say Ohio State is the champion. Whether it's Michigan, Oregon, Indiana, 2, they're getting 2. So that now leaves 4 bids left. And the SEC, unless they really want to screw over the SEC, and I don't think they want to, Gabe, they're going to get 4 at-large bids, and that's going to leave none for the ACC and Big 12.
If
You're going
I
to
had
have
to
to
say
win your
it,
conferences.
Yeah, I'm with you. Right now, as a betting man, I would say 4 from the SEC and 3 from the Big Ten.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's like maybe okay.
ACC,
and listen, these SEC teams are gonna beat each other up a little bit. So maybe it's an extreme. It's guaranteed 3. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the Big Ten's getting 3. Michigan is an outlier, right? Because look, Michigan, Scott, they're not going to lose until they play Ohio State. The thing is, okay, like logically, are they going to beat Ohio State? No. They're beating them 4 years in a row, bro. Right? Ohio State have been pretty good. Ohio State won the national championship last year and lost to a basically 6-5 regular season Michigan team. Michigan are getting better every week right now. Like, Michigan kind of know this. Beat Northwestern, beat like Purdue's of the world, and we play Ohio State for a spot in the playoff. And don't tell me Michigan ain't getting in, Scott, if they finish the regular season 10-2 and they beat the number 1 ranked team in the country in Ohio State. They're guaranteed to get in.
Isn't that game at Ohio State? Is that game at Ohio State this year?
No, sir. It's in Ann Arbor, Michigan, baby.
It's in Ann Arbor? All right. So it helps their cause, obviously.
And it's in the back of Ohio State's head, Scott. Like,
it's got to be.
Man, we could beat everybody, but, oh, man, we got to go to Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's in their mind of, like, nervousness.
Yeah. Hey, they're Ohio State fans, especially now this year, since they did win last year, that would tell you that they'd rather beat Michigan than win the national championship again if it meant losing to Michigan. Right?
Ryan Day, Scott, the only coach that ever won the championship that people were like, so what? Beat Michigan. It's good for you. Yeah, good for you. Exactly.
And I'll tell you, Gabe, I listen, I hate the SEC. I think that over the years, I think it's been an overrated conference, a top-heavy conference, right? But this year they are good.
I would agree.
But I'm not going to cry for the ACC. The ACC killed themselves this week. Miami losing, killed themselves. Georgia Tech killed themselves. You're not going to get in with 2 losses in the ACC. And that's what's going to happen in order to get an at-large bid, because the champion maybe has 1, right? But then that means one of these 1-loss teams or 2-loss teams is going to have a 2nd or 3rd. And you're not going to get in with 2 losses from the ACC over an SEC team. You're just not if you're Georgia Tech.
Could be Georgia Tech.
You're Miami.
If you're Georgia Tech, you need to win, Scott. You need to win out here. You need to win. You know what I mean? You need to win. You got to win your call. You got to win out, and not with 3 losses. Right. Yeah, like you said, like remember Clemson got in the back door. Hey, we're 9-3, guys, but we won our, it's like, all right, you're in. This year it's going to be tougher.
Give it to you.
It's going to be a lot tougher this year to get in. And as you stated, because a lot of these teams, they don't play each other. Some of them still will, but they don't hold. That's the one thing you and I both know, and it kind of bothers me. I agree with you. In the past, I used to complain at the SEC. I was like, who is the SEC? What, Georgia and Alabama?
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, like seriously, like who else is it? I now I'm like, okay, you are deeper. I'll give you that. But let's let it still play out here right now because there's still a lot of football left to be played. Look, A&M and Texas play each other, but I think A&M are for real, Scott. But I was going to say, it's almost like the losses don't count, right? You know this too. SEC team loses, but you know what? It's always a but why they deserve to be in more than everybody else. Like they could have 4 losses and they make an argument. Remember, Alabama was mad, Scott. They were like 8-4. Yeah, but our schedule was tough. It's like, shut up, man. Why do you think we expanded the playoff? Because the SEC just wanted more teams in.
That's it. And that's why I know, without a shadow of a doubt, within the next couple of years, we are going to go to 16. There's no two ways about it.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah, because the big debate this week or this year is going to be, will a 3-loss SEC championship game loser get in over maybe a 1-loss or 2-loss ACC or Big 12? And the answer is going to be yes. Or even if it's no, then this is what they're going to use to expand to 16.
Let us not forget. And I understand their quarterback was hurt, but think back in time about how crazy that sounds, that we left a 13-0 football team out of the college football playoffs because we decided since their quarterback was out. They already did that to Florida State in the ACC. They said too bad.
Yeah.
And remember, they beat, who did they beat? They beat, LSU. They beat a couple SEC teams, too, even, Scott, that year. It was you guys it's rigged. You guys just don't care. It's like the ACC is the odd man out.
Yeah.
It's the SEC and the Big Ten. They're like the mob and the Don at the head of the table, and there's everybody else.
Yeah. And Jersey and New York and everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of elections, back to that for a second when we come back.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one, closing it out. Fast hour there with the college football playoffs. We got all the stuff, college football games. We got the baskets going on, hockey as well. And then we got our poly market elections, which they've given Cuomo, at least on polymarket.com, a little bit more of a chance. It was 99.9 to 0.1%, but now it's 95-5. So someone put a couple of bucks on Cuomo to maybe make the miracle comeback.
How about this, Scott?
Yeah,
there's somebody out there. Was it you? Was it you? Like the long shot? Like you're like, well,
yeah,
you know,
listen,
anything can happen. You never know.
Yeah, the question I have for
right now
market is 97 for Mikey Jackie Sherrill. I'll date myself. For Mikey Sherrill, and then Jack Citarella, the opponent, is 4%. In my world, that adds up to 101. Shouldn't these things be adding up to 100? What am I missing here? But 97 and 4 for the New Jersey governor.
Over 2 million votes cast in the NYC mayoral election, beating the 1969 record.
Wow. How about that?
You know what I mean? You can't say that people didn't participate in this election, right? Over 2 million votes cast already have been counted. It's from the New York Post right now.
And New York Post, I'm a member of the New York Post, right? Here in New York, Gabe, the Post is Republican. The Daily News is left wing. It's just right down the line. No two ways about it. So over the last 2 months, Mandami, articles, all trash. They would have made this guy out to be the worst guy in the history of mankind. So that's how it kind of runs it in New York. But he's 95% to 5%. You could put buy contracts on whatever you want to call it on all this stuff. They got the Minutemen and the Zips right now. They got the Red Hawks and Bobcats. Sometimes you can get a better line. Like, you go to the FanDuel, right? I see a 3-3 Miami of Ohio, and I like Ohio. But on Polymarket, it's 63% for Miami O and only 37% for Ohio, which means, if you want to buy a contract on the Bobcats, I bet you get a better line, if you will, than you would on Miami O, even though it's favored. So
it's a fascinating new market, right? It's you have to adapt with the times, right? And be aware of this type of stuff and be able to adapt.
It's good for SportsGrid. I mean, let's face it. This opens up in essence, the gambling market to all these states that don't have gambling. So if we pay attention to some of this stuff every once in a while, it's not the worst thing in the world,
And the sports books are not very big fans of these trading sites.
Oh, I'm sure they're not. No.
Because they haven't lobbied, donated, campaigned for years. They just showed up and said, hey, we're just going to do it. And I know the Poly Market, if you look into Poly Market's ownership group and stuff, it's a very powerful group. So it's a very there's a reason why they're getting away with and they're able to sort of just do this, and no one's really going to stop them right now. But you know what I mean? In the land of the free, right? The so-called free, Scott, you should be able to trade, bet, wager on whatever the hell you want to bet on.
Yeah. You know what they're like now, Gabe? They're like the street cart that's standing outside. Meanwhile, the storefront, that guy's paying $30,000 a square foot in New York City. Meanwhile, the food truck drives right up, parks on the road.
They just circumvented everything, right?
And just steals all the customers. Yeah, I always felt bad for that.
But it's ironic. It's ironic, though, but the DFS company sort of did the same thing before into the sports betting world, right? They had a head start because they... So, it's all sort of the same, and it's all intertwined, and it's just how you approach it and how you want to word it and what the law is in each state. But as you stated, it's a good point by you that especially in the states, the Texases and the Californias of the world, right?
Yeah. Florida too.
Yeah. Well, Florida, you can bet on sports now, but only at one place. Hard Rock. Hard Rock has it's Hard Rock. So you can bet. They have an app too, but it's basically there's no option. It's one sports book. They have a monopoly on the state.
Right. The Virginia governor election, that's basically done. Abigail Spanberger beat the other female. So that's 100% to 1. So I'm guessing that is all done.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap there. Virginia's done. Yeah, they closed at 7:00 Eastern time, so I'm guessing that's why they're a little bit ahead of all the others. So New York City one's still open, for another 30 seconds. If you get online right now, you can still get your vote in. Hour number 2, back to the sports board when we come back.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza flying by Scott and Gabe. So we got a little bit of everything here. I haven't touched too much on hockey. Let me go to the hockey board tonight. Did like Carolina. In fact, Tom Vecchio, one of our guests last night, he's a Sports Grid host. You see it here all the time. Gabe did love Carolina, and I agreed with him. It was Pick'em, and they're leading the Rangers 2-0 start the third period. But the Rangers just can't score at home. It's amazing. They're pretty good on the road. But they can score with a $20 bill at a Pete Brothel house. I mean, it's amazing at home.
They keep on frustrating their fans.
What do they score? Like one goal at home all year?
But it's something to note.
More than just a couple, right?
It's something to note, though, that you almost get value on the Rangers on the road because then the perception becomes that they're really bad. It's like, no, they're not really bad. They're just bad at home, right? Yeah. So it's like they can't win. And obviously it's in their heads and it becomes a thing and then the crowd gets on them. And it sort of goes. I played the Canadians as far as the early games tonight. It looks like we got a track meet going on in Montreal right now. 4-3 for the Habs over the Philadelphia Flyers after 2 periods of play. Bruins, Islanders tied at 2 now, Scott. I was going to look at the Oilers. They played last night, and they didn't win. But they said, you know what? Yeah, we didn't win, but we played pretty well, and we feel pretty good about things. And I kind of believe them, actually, coming in to tonight. So the Oilers are up 2-0, but I didn't play that game. That Lightning game you were talking about is coming up in about half an hour's time. And then we got the Ducks and the Panthers. Pretty cool game. Same thing. The Panthers struggled early, guys. They've started to turn a corner a little bit, but this Duck team is playing great hockey, and we're getting plus 30 cents on their home ice. It's too good to pass up tonight.
Yeah. You look at the standings, Gabe. When do you say, okay, you know what? It's more than just a good start because you got Montreal and Detroit leading the Atlantic Division. You have
Still
New
too early.
Jersey, New Jersey and Pittsburgh leading the Metropolitan Division. You got Colorado, Winnipeg in the Central, and then you got Seattle and Anaheim leading the Pacific Division. So
it
it's
is
like,
a debate,
we
Scott.
don't-
When do you? All right, sort of like the NBA. The NBA and the NHL have the same schedule. At what point, like, do you say, all right, you are who you are? Is it? I'm thinking
say
more.
like 15 games. I'm thinking right around now.
I was thinking, I go more 25. There's a lot of teams that they've had injuries. They're still searching for their identity, Scott. There's a lot of teams that don't have an identity yet this year in the NHL. And this is something that's not being talked about, and I think it's hurting teams. Don't forget, guys, this is an Olympic year in the NHL. They're shutting the league down for 3 freaking weeks, guys. All right? Like 24 days or whatever it is. Like, they're shutting the league down, right? The best players are going to the Olympics this year. Therefore, Scott, we have a very condensed schedule. The Canucks have played in 9 different games and 9 different time zones already this year. Think about that. It's like pretty wild. Like, you know what I mean? They're in the East Coast. They're in the West. They're in here. They're back to the West. Oh, they're in the mid. They're in the Central. Like, they're all over the place because of this stupid schedule. So I think there's a lot of teams that are better than their record is, Scott, because if you look at the adversity they've already faced, where it's like, well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you don't think that team's very good. They're 7-7, but look, they actually played like 4 road games in 7 nights already. Yeah. Right? There's a lot of like stuff like that in the NHL. But don't forget, it's an Olympic year, so it's a pretty interesting year because of that. It throws a real sort of, and also for future bettors, Scott, like, will the team that are going to be hot going into this break still be hot coming out of the break?
Right.
Right? It's a long layoff.
Yeah. You know, I'm not in favor of it, Gabe, but I do appreciate the NHL's position. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to tell 30, 40 players you can't play in the Olympics and you know, make them hate hockey? And it's like, I don't know what the solution is. I don't like they shut down for 3 weeks.
Well, you remember, look, growing up, the Miracle on Ice, it wasn't pros, right? So us as kids growing up, it wasn't pros, right? It would be the younger, you know, junior teams, you know, younger Canadian guys that weren't good enough for the NHL, ragtag dudes, whatever. USA sent NCAA players. The Russians sent their best and dominated and won like 12 gold medals in a row type thing, right? Like, that's why it was such a big deal that the Miracle on Ice team. Then it was sort of like basketball, right, Scott? The USA didn't like not winning a gold medal. So they said, screw this. We're sending our pros. Because remember, the USA used to send college basketball players to the Olympics. They didn't win a couple of times. Russia beat them, and they got really like, this can't happen. Let's send our pros. The NHL said the same thing in the 90s. All right, let's do this whole dream team thing. But the NHL owners didn't like it, so they stopped it. The NHL it was, you know, Scott, the NHL only did it when it was convenient for them. They're like, oh, yeah, it's in Salt Lake. Oh, it's in Canada. Oh, yeah, let's play. Yeah. Right? Or, oh, no, now it's in China. Nah. What do we want to go to China for? Right?
Like, why'd you allow that?
Right? It was, you know, we're going to play at 3 a.m. and like, nah, what's the point? And it was like, guys, you don't get to pick where, like, you're in the Olympics, Scott, where it is or not. You know what I mean? You're either in or you're out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't do this, when it's convenient for us. There was nearly a mutiny. Sidney Crosby, Ovechkin, all the players from different nations told Gary Bettman, we want to play in the Olympics. All these other countries all have something. We want to play in the Olympics. And the owner said no. And I remember in the last Olympics, Ovechkin said, you know what? I'm going to do it anyways and see what happens. Stop me.
Yeah.
And the owners finally realized, you know what? For the good of the game, the only reason the NHL owners don't like it is because they don't make money off it. They don't make money off it, Scott. The Olympics do. They don't get anything. Like Team Canada makes money selling jerseys. Team USA sells merch. Gary Bettman doesn't get any money from this. That's what bothers them. So the Olympics are using their players to make money. But you can't tell me that the best against the best. Like, look at the 4 nations and how good it was for the game. It'll be the same thing in the Olympics. It'll give people enthusiasm coming back into the NHL playoffs, in my opinion. But think about the winter we have coming up, Scott. World Baseball Classic that's going to be lit this year. You got Ohtani and, Sasaki and Yamamoto that are in Japan. Yeah. Aaron Judge is playing this time. Paul Skeens is playing for the U.S. The Dominican are stacked. So we got World Baseball Classic in like March. We have the freaking Olympics in February. Pretty cool, winter we have coming up of international sport.
Yeah. And it can carry a sport, a little bit. The NHL, no doubt, you got a little bit of a jolt from the Nations 4 tournament. No two ways about it. So, but it's just tough as a hockey fan, plus you run the risk of injury. But how many injuries do you really get? You don't get really fighting and stuff like that.
There's
but
usually
you
one.
Run the risk.
There's usually one or two people. It happens. There is going to be one or two players that will get hurt there. It's, it is what it is. But you can get hurt in practice too, Scott, right? It's like football. Oh, yeah, we're not playing our guys in the preseason, but our guy is out. Well, he turned weird in practice. Like, guys always get hurt, not even in games in training camp in the NFL. You can get hurt at any time. If you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. By the way, with the trade deadline, before we go back to the games, anything jump out? I mean, it's amazing. The Mets, the
Colts
Jets just jumped everybody. How about the Colts? Seattle picking up the wide receiver, Rashid?
For me, it's funny because Jet fans out there, and I see the Jets, and people are like, oh, boy, the Jets have a lot of draft picks coming up. Giving the Jets a draft pick is like giving a bunch of condoms to a virgin. What's he going to do with them?
I've always said that, yeah. You can have 1,000. If you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter.
The Jets have been screwing up draft picks for the last 50 years.
Right.
So what? Yeah, good for you. And the crazy thing is, you just got the last picks right. Breece Hall is good. Sauce Gosler is good. You still suck. So what? Now you got a bunch of picks. Well, bravo. But yeah, how about the Colts loading up like that? I got to tell you.
Yeah. Not bad. Chargers picked up an offensive lineman. That helps their situation with Alt. No like big name except for Sauce Gardner, but little moves that actually help some of these secondary teams that going for it.
We talked about Myers too. Right? Remember, good call with Shaheed to Seattle. We talked about. I said, Seattle could use just another wide receiver in there, But Myers goes to the Jacksonville Jags earlier in the day, but they get Shaheed. Not a bad pickup for Seattle.
Yeah, not bad. Nothing that moved the lines, but, if you like a team, and you got helped out a little bit today for sure. All right, back to the board here in a minute.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe checking out all the action. We'll hit the election results here in a little bit. But first up, Dookie Pukey's in action, trailing Texas in college basketball early on. 8.5 minutes in, 12 to 11. Line is down to 8.5. That's why I took a little shot on Texas. With Gabe and I both like the over. That's a little slow pace right now. It's down to 144.5. So let's see that thing hopefully.
I jumped in on Texas too.
Did you?
I couldn't resist. Yeah, I couldn't resist.
Digits.
I was like, yeah. It was up to 10.5. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like this is over. We saw it last night. What did I say last night, guys? I said I like to take the underdogs in these blue blood specials in the first games of the year, right? Because a lot of these teams are overly hyped from last year. It's a new Duke team. Like, you know what I mean? It's a new team. So yeah, they got great players, but it's still a new team. And 10.5 with Texas. Texas have athletes. They can play, right? They had a couple of injuries and question marks coming into the game tonight, and they haven't won the game yet, but it should start to pick up a little bit. But, yeah, 12-11 early. I wanted to check in with our boy Maxey and see how he's doing. But for the record, Sixers are rolling, Scott. They're up a 20 spot right now, 19 to be exact, actually, at the half, 75-56 at the half.
All right. Been a good run for the Bulls, but apparently that's going to be ending tonight, although we've seen crazy things in college basketball. But I'm more alarmed at the 75 points. They got 131 points now at halftime. What are we getting from FanDuel now on the over-under on that one? Because now that's down to 100, and from what it was before, now you need 108 points. We were talking about 110-point second half. What's it now?
Oh, for the Raptors.
247. 247. Oh, that was the Raptor game. That's right. I was thinking it was the Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Raptors. Yeah, we got to 127 at the half, as you stated there, and that one. But remember I said before the game, so I said, listen, I like Maxey over 27.5 tonight. He's got 22 points in the first half. And I said, it might be it's his birthday too. So it's probably, he goes off tonight. He probably has one of those 43 type of nights. So let's just look now. I'm going to see if we have an alternate point prop here on Maxey. Let's see, player. No, all we can do is points here. So let's see, Maxey 40 or more is plus 375 right now.
It's not bad.
The problem is the game is a rout. It is a 19-point lead. You're right, and it is his birthday. They probably leave him in. Put it this way, Scott. For him to score 35 or more is minus 105. What a big jump, huh? From 35 to 40. Plus 375 for 40 or more. So 19 points he would need. No, 18 points. So 40 or more. It's not so 40. He's got to get to 40 or more. So 18 points in the second half for plus 375.
I would do it. You know why? Because it's a road game. It's a road game, too.
Those odds.
So they would give the Bulls the benefit of the doubt of maybe getting back into it. Even if it's still a 19-point game or 15-point game, fourth quarter, 7 minutes left, they'll keep their starters in there where maybe at home they were they're not going to come back on the road.
And Nick Nurse knows it's his birthday, too. Let the kid go off. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? There's magic numbers, and 40's not quite like 50 game, but, if the guy's got 34, 35, 36, I think they would be like, hey, you know what? You need 4 more for 40. Let's get him the ball. Yeah, that's how the NBA works. I've seen that 1,000 times.
And he is averaging 33. He's averaging 33.7 points a game. So he's nearly averaging 34 points a game. We're not asking for something crazy. We're asking for 6 more points than his season average, which he's already gone over half the number here. Exactly. He's already dropped 22.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad little play. It really isn't. So, Ohio just scored a touchdown. So, our Bucks are up 10-6.
Easy to confuse them. Miami, Ohio, and Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, how many schools are there in Ohio, right? Between Toledo and Ohio State and Cincinnati,
I got you the answer,
Miami,
Scott.
and Ohio.
Remember we talked about Texas?
Yeah.
Remember I said Texas? I guessed 21. What was your guess for Texas?
I think it was 15. I think I said 15, 16. Something like that.
It's 25.
25 Division I teams. Well, at least Texas is big. The Texas you could give, it's half the size of the world.
There's a lot of them
Ohio
that
is
you're
just
like,
a
oh yeah,
normal
yeah,
state.
like Rio Grande. That's a D1 school in Texas, right? Texas A&M Commerce. There's a lot of them. Like I said, when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, those
Lamar.
guys. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of deals where you're like, oh yeah, that's Texas. Yeah. There's but 25 of them. 25 Division I schools in the state of Texas.
Wow. We got to find out how many in Ohio. Ohio State, Cincinnati, Ohio, Toledo, Miami of Ohio. They say Cincinnati. There's a gazillion of them. So
just for the record here too. So here it is: Abilene Christian, University of Texas Arlington, University of North Texas, Texas A&M Commerce, Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston State, Lamar, Rice, Texas Southern, University of Houston, Houston Christian, Prairie View A&M, Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, Incarnate Word, UTSA, UTEP, Texas Tech, Texas, Tarleton State, Texas State, Texas A&M. It just keeps going on and on, bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, a lot of those
find
people
out
like,
Ohio
really?
here, yeah.
Tarleton State,
Ohio,
really?
I'm going to guess like 17.
I was going to say, I wasn't going to go that high. I was going to say about 13 or 14. But with everything you said and done, you might be right. Just the one
13.
conference alone. 13?
Yeah.
Considering the size of Ohio versus Texas, it kind of, per square inch, it's probably even more in Ohio than Texas.
Akron, Bowling Green, Cincinnati, Cleveland State, Dayton, Kent State, Miami, Ohio State, Toledo, Wright State, Xavier, and Youngstown.
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of felt 13. There would have been a couple of more there.
Yeah. It seems like we're forgetting one or two.
No, this is a list. Yeah, this is the list.
Thought there was a few more college basketball teams, but in-game live game day on the grid. Back to the board when we return.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. Mm-hmm. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to In-Game Live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. We got George Kurtz coming up here in about 5 minutes or so. Keeping an eye on everything, including the election. It is November 4th, election night here. So a lot of mayoral races, governor races around the country. Checking out the poly market, even if you can't bet it on FanDuel or DraftKings or all the other stuff, you can buy little contracts, if you will, on some of these other markets that is new to the country for the most part anyway, at least hit mainstream. So New York City, New Jersey, Virginia, California, those were the main ones, but there actually are governor and mayoral races all over the country, obviously. So the mayor ones in New York City, looks like it's going to be Mandani. He's 95%. Cuomo's still 5%. That hasn't fluctuated much. The Mikey Sherrill, Jackie Citarella over in Jersey, that's pretty much Mikey Sherrill. Looks like she's going to win. She's at 97% of the people that are buying contracts. Jack is only 4%. I think the vote for that one is actually a lot closer, to tell you the truth, than what people are plunking their dollars on that one. And then the Virginia one, that closed a couple of hours ago, and that is all over. So it's really those two that we're kind of keeping an eye on, and the mayoral race over in California, or governor's race. And then they're actually offering a big governor's race where they want to change all the districts. So the Democrats have a little bit more seats in the House than they do right now if they change the borders of where all the districts are lined up. So it's a lot of goofy politics stuff. But you can go to those markets and you can have action on all stuff, whether it's hockey, basketball, college football. It's all right there. So kind of cool for the states that don't have legalized gambling. This is their option. So one of the things you can put some shekels on, college football. Akron scored again. So now at 34-10 over UMass. But I actually watched UMass play a couple of times. I had some money betting against them, and they really didn't look like awful. I've seen worse MAC teams, I'll tell you that. But they're winless, 0-8, and their win total is 3.5. Somehow or another, the boys in Vegas put a 3.5 on them. So if they don't win tonight, then they go under their win total, which we figured they would do. So they're losing 34-10.
Tough schedule. Tough schedule, bad luck.
They had a couple wins.
Right? Yeah, it's just one of those things aren't going their way. They're not as bad as an 0-8 football team. And in fact, sort of keep our eye on them because they won't quit. They'll want to get a win. Right, so there could be a spot, like just sort of, all right, they're going to be massive underdogs all the way out. I mean, look, they were an 0-8 football team, and they were only getting 10.5 points tonight. So it sort of go to show the respect that they were getting a bit. And also Akron aren't that good. But props to Akron, up by 24 right now. I'm on Ohio, and Ohio are up 10-6, nursing a 4-point lead. But Miami of Ohio, the Redhawks, moving the football. We got an in-game total of 30.5, and Raptors rolling the Bucks still right now, 99-78 with a little over a minute left in the third quarter of play. So, and the total has just been sitting right around that number that I talked about. Well, in game right now, 241.5. So it's right there at the number pretty much. It really hasn't moved all that much.
Yeah. They looking back, hindsight always 2020, right? But looking back, Toronto was a pretty good play tonight. The way Milwaukee won last night, shot at the buzzer by Giannis, crazy shot, right? Just a terrific shot. But to follow that up on the road, flying to another country, and expect to have that same kind of energy and emotion. And so Toronto was the play tonight for sure. I don't expect much of a comeback out of Milwaukee. I think they're basically done.
But as far as Toronto being another country, it's not like they were flying to Australia.
No, but there's got to be certain things you have to go through when you go to Toronto or any other Canadian city, right at the border, flying over. With
not
your
really,
and all this other stuff. Maybe not for teams, but
no. You know what?
It's a travel.
It's worse for the Toronto Raptor players than it is the visiting players. Like if you're coming back because of duty type stuff. It's the one thing Toronto Raptor players don't like. So imagine they buy like a $200,000 chain or something like in New York, and they go back to Toronto. They have to declare it, and they have to pay a tax on it. Right? That's what bothers them. If you're a visiting team, you're not like going through the airport and stuff like that. They actually send someone to the plane, and they basically just check everybody's passport, right? And
it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, so it's not like they're getting holed up in the airport going through a customs or anything like that. No, it's very seamless. But for the players that play on the Raptors, that's a complaint that they have. That they have to. They're like, man, I already paid tax on this thing when I bought it. Now I got to pay this duty because I went back to Canada with it. And imagine they spend a lot of money on jewelry and watches and stuff, right? So it bothers them.
I would think so. A lot of money. All right, more coming up.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like their clubhouse dynamic. I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid, midway through hour number 2, Scott and Gabe. So we got a little bit of everything going on. Empty net goal by Carolina. Let's bring on our good buddy George Kurtz, talk a little hockey, a little NFL trade deadline, maybe touch on the baseball stuff. Haven't spoken to him since the World Series stuff. So what's going on there, George? Crazy night in the NHL. We got the trade deadline this afternoon in the NFL. A little baseball stuff to get to as well. But where are your hockey notes tonight?
Islanders once again choking up third period leads here, which is if you're an Islander fan or follow hockey, that's been going on for years now. Tough team to rely on. But one thing about the Islanders, hey, they're no longer an automatic under bet for me. Right? They're more exciting than they used to be. They don't win really all that much more, but they're more exciting here. They play more up tempo hockey here. So it is what it is here. But as I said, they're no longer the automatic under. I did have the Rangers tonight, maybe because the Rangers always seem to be Carolina, but not tonight. Once again, Rangers at home cannot score.
Yeah,
Flyers Canadians.
Yeah,
Flyers Canadians tied at 4 right now with under 4 minutes remaining. The Flyers have come back to tie the game.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about the Canadians before, Gabe, right? The Canadians have so much speed, so much skill. A lot of fun to watch. I mean, a lot of fun. They're a team where I almost always look towards the over, and Philadelphia doesn't really have a defense to stop anybody. And they play kind of an up-tempo game as well, as they have some good young scorers there. So this is a game I actually got right as far as the over here, where we had 8 goals. Obviously, we're going to get to at least 9, but it's been a fun game to watch.
Let me ask you about the Rangers. I mean, how do you explain it? Like, they're a decent team, maybe not great, but decent. They win on the road. They're coming off a successful West Coast trip, and they come back home, and they can't score at home. Gabe and I were talking. They have 6 home games, and unless they score in the final 6 seconds here, they're going to be shut out in 4 of the 6 home games, and they had only scored 1 goal in one of the others, and the other game was against San Jose, which almost doesn't count. I mean, I never heard of a team being shut out 4 out of 6 times at home.
And they lost the game to San Jose, by the way. All right, so it's wild here because listen, they're not a cup contending team. I don't think so anyway, but they're not a bad team. It's a good, solid team. And listen, on a one-off, no one's going to complain that you lost to Carolina. Carolina is a good team. They might be the best team in the East, or certainly one of them here. So no one's going to complain about that. But yeah, when you cannot score at home, you can't tell me these players aren't thinking about it. And I believe that Kochetkov, the backup played tonight. It's not even Frederick Anderson. It's his first game of the season coming off IR. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you got Panarin, you got Zibanejad, you've got
it's
guys,
psychological, George.
JT Miller has to be. They're gripping the sticks tight.
It's in their head. Where they're just they overthink, you over panic, you hold the stick tight. What's amazing though, they are 6-1-1 on the road, and their goal differential was 31-31 coming into tonight. So they're about to that'll be difference of 3 goals. But think about that, Scott. If they've been shut out at home as much as they have, and their goal differential is still even. So it's just this bizarro world MSG thing going on right now for them. If they can figure it out and they go on a run, which you figure they eventually will, right? Eventually they have to start scoring at home, but not tonight.
No, they got shut out. It's over.
Yeah, 3-0. Wow. Got a couple games starting here in a little bit. Let's hop on those unless you got something else going on. But Tampa Bay, Colorado, pretty good one. I took a flyer on Tampa Bay tonight. They're going for their 6th straight win. Colorado struggling here a little bit. Only 2-5 their last 7, and Tampa Bay 5-1 their last 6 against Colorado. You like anyone with that game?
I kind of like where you're leaning with that. It's hard to bet against Colorado, especially in Denver with the air, and you wonder if teams are going to suffer a little bit in the first period before their lungs get used to it. I really want to take the under, but the problem it's juiced, -132. So but that's really where I wanted to go there. So I don't think there's going to be 7 goals tonight. I think it's going to be a 3-2 game somewhere around there, maybe 4-2 at the empty net. But I'm not going to lay 132. But I do like where you're going with that. But I laid off this game as far as the game itself is concerned.
What about the Duck game tonight with the Panthers? Listen, this Duck team, Scott, you brought it up earlier as far as the NHL standings are concerned. There's a lot of teams that people wouldn't expect to be at the top of the standings right now, right, in their divisions and in their conferences. Montreal Canadiens, Detroit Red Wings. People aren't surprised about the Devils, but I don't think people thought the Pittsburgh Penguins would be 8-4 right now. And then you look at the Pacific Division, the Seattle Kraken, right now with 16 points, and then the Anaheim Ducks right there. So as the season goes on, George, the games get realer for the Ducks. You know what I mean? The better you are, the more, the bigger the games get, obviously, right? Oh, it's not a fluke. We're actually a good team now. Panthers have turned the corner a little bit, but I still can't pass up the Ducks getting plus 130 on their home ice. They've been solid at home, 3-1. They've won 3 of their 4 home games this year, and they are 4-1 against teams from the Eastern Conference this year as well. I'm on the Ducks tonight. What are you doing with that game?
Yeah, I guess my chalk must be broken because I'm on the Ducks as well here. I don't think the Panthers are still a good team, but no Kachuk, no Barkov. You're not that team, not right now anyway. The Ducks have been playing well, and so I went with the Ducks, took the plus money tonight. I think it's actually gone better, right? It's 136 now. I think I got it at 130 offhand earlier today. So I like the Ducks. We're not talking a big play here, all right, but I do like the Ducks tonight as well. I like the price on it. And as I said, Panthers are still going to be still a good team. They'll be a great team before playoffs come, but they're not that team. They're not back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Not right now. I took the Ducks.
Mm-hmm. Winnipeg at the LA Kings. That's an interesting one in that you're getting odds with Winnipeg, which is one of the rare teams that's actually doing what they were supposed to do. They're winning. Come playoff time, they'll lose, but they're winning now. LA, which is George, as you know, usually phenomenal at home, have yet to win at home. 0-5, including 2 overtime losses. LA's laying $134 against the Jets.
So you're telling me they're going to get their first home win against the Jets? No,
I wouldn't think so.
Right? No. I'm going to take the Jets. Jets are still a good team, and we joke about it, but yeah, the Jets are great. They're the Cowboys. Great during the regular season, suck during the playoffs.
Yeah, the Jets are better than the Cowboys are, though. Let's be real. Sorry, George, I'm speaking.
They all lose the first round.
No, but the Jets were the best team in the regular season last year. You know what I mean? Like, they're actually like, you know what I mean? I know they don't win in the playoffs. I get it. The Jets are the Bills. How's that? Like, I'm going to throw my own team under the bus instead.
No, the Bills win a round or two.
So do the Jets. The Jets win a round. They don't lose in the first round every time. They do choke all the time. I'm not disputing that. But one thing with the Jets, guys, which is weird, and it's one of those sort of bizarro world things, which the Jets are a good road team. Like, you saw it in the playoffs, they get caught up in the whiteout stuff. They have their same whiteout as like Penn State, and their fans are crazy, and it's Winnipeg. All they have is the Jets and the Blue Bombers. Like, it's very over-the-top pressure in Winnipeg if you play for this team.
No pressure on it, right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly, Scott. They go on the road. They just feel looser, and they're 4-0 on the road this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they win today. They're a good team. Kings are a good team too, but they're not quite what the Jets are. And I didn't know about the
but the Kings have been the same way, guys.
Earlier today. Kings are the same team. They're always the same team each and every year.
Yeah, they're 5-1 on the road, and they're 0-2, 0-3-2 at home. Like, they're the same. The Kings always, for some reason, are better on the road too.
But last year they were phenomenal at home, believe it or not.
Yeah, and it was like a reversal, Scott. You're right.
Yeah.
It was a reversal. You're right. And they're right back to where they started here again.
Yeah. Amazing. So, anything in the NFL trade deadline make you say, okay, I'm going to bet, whether it's Seattle, Indianapolis. I know some major moves today, but anything shock you?
I think the Jets just disbanding their team shocked me. I didn't see that coming. Yeah. You get Sauce Gardner. We didn't even hear about him being rumored or mentioned here. But I think the best deal. I mean, Sauce Gardner might give the Colts the best secondary in the NFL, so that's a really good move for them. Shaheed, I think, is an underrated move, by the way. That he gives him that little. He lengthens the field there, right? The bomb guy means those safety's got to back off. Should open up room for Seattle Seahawks. I like that move as well. But the Jets doing what they did not see coming. And I live in New York.
Yeah. Boy, how bad are the Jets going to be, right? I mean, and not only losing the players, but just the morale of, trading away, two of your best players. Amazing. George, good job, man. We're doing it again soon. Thanks.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic. I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, You didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Excuse me. Welcome in the back. Thanks to George Kurtz joining us there for a couple of seconds, as he always does. So back to the college football boards, basketball boards, and everything else. Did have a kickoff return after Miami O had scored on a touchdown pass to take a 13-10 lead. Ohio returns the ensuing kickoff back, 100 yards on a fake reverse. So back Ohio goes 17-13. Now the over, it's still fourth quarter. 13 minutes left. The over-under, I think, was like right around 50 or so. But it's back in play a little bit with that gift touchdown. So
went all the way down to 30 and a half, I saw at one point. Maybe it was a little lower, but I was like, man, 30 and a half, that's pretty low. It'll probably open up a little bit. So you get the kickoff return up to 30 right now. I see a 39 and a half. Will there be another 10 points in this game? Probably, actually. There's still 13 minutes left.
Yeah. FanDuel's giving me 37 and a half, and I'm getting plus odds too. Wow. They're giving me 37 and a half at plus 140. It's 17.
But no one's going to go for 2.
13 minutes left. So, no, you're definitely
sort of
going to
the
need
same
2
thing.
scores. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sort
true.
of the same. 30, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a little deceptive, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I would.
It probably happens though, Scott. You often see these games. Plus, it's the MAC, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's MAC. So it started off 0-0, then they went 0-0 in the first, 3-3 in the second, 7-3 in the third, and already 7-7 now. There's more craziness coming in this football game.
Yeah. And every time I look, both teams seem to be moving the ball up and down the field. I'm surprised it's as low scoring as it is. So
I'm going to jump in.
Yeah. I like that one.
I'm already on Ohio,
by
so
2. Yeah, I got Ohio leading to 2.5. I thought that was a pretty good play. I think they're the better team. Getting them at home. Not that there won't be a lot of Miami O fans there, but still, at home, basically pick them. So close, similar records for first place in the conference. Duke by 2.
I think my total in the Raptor game is going to be in trouble just because they've taken Giannis out. They've tapped out. 115 to 90. So we got a 25-point game, 238 and a half. 25-point game. The Raptors aren't stopping. That's one thing. The Raptors, and there's some more. The Raptors keep scoring. I did hit a nice little odds boost tonight. Bet365 out of Scotty Barnes, 15 or more points in the Raptors to win at plus 200. I was like, all right, you know what? Scotty Barnes has been smoking hot, and I thought the Raptors are going to win the game. It's funny because Barnes got beat up in the game earlier, but he came back. So I was like, oh, man, he's injured. Because Barnes, that's it. That's Barnes' thing. Barnes is almost, he's not Embiid, but Barnes is a badass. He's one of the best players in the NBA that people don't talk about, but he's got to stay on the court more. Right, but the guy he's a prop machine, guys. Scotty Barnes is just a freaking numbers machine. Anyone that knows basketball, when Barnes plays, he puts numbers up, rebounds, assists, points. I'll get you his box score right now, but Scotty Barnes is a badass. He's just got to stay healthy.
Here come the Chicago Bulls. They're not dead. It's down to 7.5. It was 11.5 a moment ago. They made a nice little run. They've cut the lead to 9, 93-84. As they close out the third quarter. Now it's back up to 9.5. I think the Bulls got a run in them. They're using up a lot of energy here in the third, but I got a funny feeling they got a little run in them. 95-84. I tell you what, that's 179 points. They're giving you 236, so that's 36. That's about a 60-point fourth quarter for a team that's down 11 now. 95-84. That's not bad. I might take a flyer on the over 236.5. And
that'll
nice
help my
Maxey
Maxey prop.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because they'll got to keep playing. The more Chicago comes back. And for the record, Maxey's up to 31 right now. So he's already gone over the 27.5 that we gave in the pickoff earlier. He's up to 31, and we've played 3 quarters. So we're at the break right now, going into the fourth quarter. But yeah, the Bulls have chipping away. They're down 11 right now. They made it a basketball game.
Yeah. Nice job by the Hawks, who won't have Trae Young for the next month. So who knows what this team is going to end up doing. They're blowing out Orlando 74-61. I can't help but think the Magic got a run in them. They're getting 8.5. They're the better team. If you're the Magic, you just, if you want to get into that upper level, you got to win games like that. You can't lose to the Hawks without Trae Young. You just can't. So I
wasn't ready to anoint the Magic just yet. I know people it was almost process of elimination. There weren't a lot of great teams in the East coming into the year. Right? It was the Cavs, the Knicks, and then the Magic were the third choice as according to the odds makers.
Yeah.
Right? The Knicks and Cavs are the co-favorites. And then it was and then that third team, Orlando, I didn't buy into that personally. I know there's a lot of basketball left this year, but seems to me in the NBA too, just injuries is just such a big thing, right? I mean, teams are so fragile. Their star goes down, and the teams are just screwed.
Yeah. My guy, Jalen Johnson's up to 16. So we need 4 more. They're giving you 22.5. He had a little spurt there. He put a couple of buckets back to back because he was on 12 there for a little while. So he's at 16. And what do we got? We're still in the third quarter with 6.5 minutes left. I don't know how he doesn't get 7 more points. Porzingis has 10. Who's doing the scoring for the Hawks? They got 70 points already. The main 2 guys aren't doing too much. Pablo's at 16. They're giving you 24.5. Nothing crazy there. But I still think Jalen Johnson is the guy for them. So,
good start for them.
Yeah. Couple games starting top of the hour. Any interest in Phoenix and then Golden State, or Clippers getting 8.5 now at home against OKC?
Not
Clippers
so much, actually.
17-3.
I'm sort of
20 at home.
The Clippers are like a drama machine, bro. Their games are always like stress jobs. It always comes down to it's always so close. But I just want to give an update quickly.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's harder to get 23 rebounds, Scott, in a real game than it is in an exhibition game. Because Boozer's got 2 rebounds.
2?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's got 0 points.
Welcome to college basketball, kid. I mean, how the hell?
That's what I thought last night for the kid on BYU, Scott. I was like 18.5 a lot for a first game, and here's Boozer right now, 0 points, 2 rebounds.
Wow, that's embarrassing. That's like, wow. What are you doing on the court, brother? Man, all right, more coming up.
He's on the bench now.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. Mm-hmm. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing up shop here, taking a peek at some of the things. We'll touch on the election results here one more time. Just want to throw it out there from our original opening pick plays. I had the Bulls. They're making a comeback, but they're down to double digits entering the fourth quarter, but you never know. Over Jalen Johnson, looking halfway decent. I had it at 19.5. Gaby's at 16. We got the full half of the third quarter, so I would like to think he'll get 4 more points. Then we got Tampa Bay plus the 125 against Colorado. They're going to begin here in about 5-10 minutes. And then Mamdani to win the New York City election, which it looks like he's going to be doing. So we'll see how the things turn out when everything is said and done tomorrow. But how about, by the way, my Laker pick yesterday? I told you, man. I know you think it's goofy, but I'm telling you, when a star player, and this time we had 3 of them, and really, LeBron was injured, but the Lakers winning outright as 10-point dogs with you and I playing for them last night. It's crazy. Just weird. But anyway, how are your opening picks?
Blazers last night. Those are the type of games you can't, you know what? They took it for granted. They lose the basketball game. You can't let down in the NBA or in any professional sport. So far, so good for the pickoff. We've already hit the Maxey prop tonight, over 27.5. We got greedy, and we're gunning for 40 or more at plus 375. We're on the Philadelphia 76ers plus 1.5. We gave the over in the Duke-Texas game. It's sort of off the pace, but it's picked up a little bit. It's sort of right there right now. The in-game total closed. It's 145.5. So we're at the half now, 33-32. Duke struggling on offense a little bit more than I thought they would. And our closing pick tonight in the National Hockey League, let's go with Orange Country, not Orange County, but the Orange Country Ducks, Anaheim, as they're now calling it, Orange Country. They're all in on the name Anaheim. I like that, as opposed to the Angels that lie and say they're in Los Angeles. Just call yourself Anaheim or California.
Yeah.
Right, but the Ducks are playing good hockey. We talked about 3-1 on their home ice, 4-1 against the Eastern Conference. Panthers have started to score a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some goals in this game tonight, but give me the Ducks as the underdogs tonight, Scott.
Yeah, I like them. I like Winnipeg as well, getting odds. And then my college basketball late nighter, I'll split it. Like I said, I'll take Long Beach State plus the 25.5. I'll go over 135.5 Long Beach State against San Diego State. Listen, Long Beach State stinks. Well, at least they did last year. Who knows what this year? But the goal is to get to 55 points. If they get 55, then you're guaranteed yourself a split. So I'll risk the vig, and hopefully we get a double winner on that one. Our Mamdani winning, that came through with our poly market stuff. You could go on there and you could put the wages on, all this basketball, hockey that Gabe and I are talking about. They got more than just like elections. Those are just kind of the offshoots of what you don't get with your normal market. But looks like it's going to be Mamdani. Looks like it's going to be Mikey Sherrill in Jersey. We already know the winner in Virginia. But you could bet they even got an action on will Alberta vote for independence in 2025? Has there been talk in Canada about Alberta, seating and going on their own?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Alberta is like Texas. They like to do their own thing.
Right. I mean, would they be able to get that done by the end of the year? It doesn't say they will. It just says vote. But I don't,
No.
I mean, right?
No. It wouldn't come to pass. But there's a little coalition of people there that are trying to stir the pot. Yeah.
Right. All right. They don't completely like the Canadian government, huh? All right. When will the government shutdown end here in the United States? You could put a contract out on that. Who knows? Whatever the longest time is.
What are the times?
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it ends in the next couple of days. I'll put it that way. And so we're going to go into next week. Could be travel chaos too. They said if the government doesn't open in like the next week or so, they might have to shut air travel down because
with the holidays coming up,
the air traffic control workers have already missed one paycheck. They're not going to be. They're not going to like. It's you can't ask them to show up for a full month without getting paid now.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do. And legally, they have to, Gabe, but I think I mentioned this before. What they're doing from what I was reading, they're all taking their personal days and sick days, and like they're using all that stuff.
Yeah, and/or you just show up to the airport, Scott. You punch the clock, and it's like, I'll see you later. I'm going for lunch.
Yeah.
Screw you.
I'm
like,
done.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll come back. I'll let people in the line when I get back. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those deals.
Crazy. So, all right. So we had a couple of winners tonight. We do got the college football game. Miami O did score. So if you played the over 37, 38
that over.
Yeah, looking really good. So, Gabe and I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, folks. Be safe.